Good morning. Welcome to the Pursuit of Happiness. My name is Pastor Susanna Brown, and thanks for coming back and watching, and thanks for being with me this morning. I'm here as a representation or as a forerunner of what it is that we've all been searching for, which is happiness. Is that right? Thank you for watching the previous episodes of the Pursuit of Happiness. I've been talking about a little bit about my testimony of where I've come from. I've been talking about that you're a map, you're a journey, you're a part of the human race. I've been talking about cycles, about how you're created to go to the next cycle, just like a metamorphosis or, a butterfly changing from a caterpillar. Everything on this earth that's alive has a cycle. And that's what you are, my friend. You're a cycle in the making. The question is are you going to the right cycles, to the next cycles? Have you been informed? Have you been shown how to read your blueprint, your map? You were born with a blueprint. You were born to read your map. The sad thing about it is that you haven't been informed. It's almost like those mobile, you get your mobile, your brand new mobile, iPhone 5, you don't even think twice to look at the contract, do you? Well, if you read the small print these days, I say this as a funny thing, it was a funny joke, confusions apply. With life, you are confused, confusions apply. You feel that, where you're heading and where you're going, you're pursuing your passions, you're pursuing happiness, you leave early hours of the morning, drop the kids off at, before school care and get someone else to pick them up or drop them back off at after school care. And the only time you have for your child is when they're about to fall asleep. You're pursuing finances. You might be pursuing that brand new house or that brand new car and, or you're going through a divorce. And you know what? I'm going to tell you something about divorce again. Counselors, psychiatrists, and lawyers are cleaning up. Lawyers are coming in on the backdrop, advising people on the best way to divorce after the dollar. Because, those two people are vulnerable, they're broken, they're desperate, they don't have the information, because right at this point, all they know is that they want to move on to the next cycle, only to realize that the same old cycle is eventually going to rock up to the next cycle or to the next marriage, to the next boyfriend. It's time to wake up, Melbourne. We are in a crisis. We are having our own little civil war in our own little state called Melbourne Town, called Victoria. Call it whatever you want to call it. But we're having our quiet civil war. People everywhere divorcing like flies. You know what? I'm not against divorce if you've married the wrong person. I understand we all make mistakes. We do make mistakes. But the point is why is it happening over and over? Why do we keep making the same mistakes? Are we stopping and saying to ourselves, hang on, I feel that I'm the common denominator. Parents everywhere are using their children as tools or using them as weapons to get back at the spouse or to get angry at the spouse or to manipulate the spouse, and the children are getting taken like little plants, like little seeds, and they're getting caught up in the brunt of the sadness and the sorrow and the manipulation. Isn't it time we started to realize, hey, that we need to wake up and face reality that the human race here in Melbourne Town, I'll call it Melbourne Town, needs to wake up and smell the hummus or the coffee or the roses, whichever you like. Depends on your background. Did I tell you today that my favourite fan is with me because I get hot at times? I get so passionate about what I speak and how I speak and the passion of my message that at times I just sweat. But going back to me, I found myself in America 5 times. I sat with pimps and prostitutes. I sat with thieves. They had to kick me out of Hawaii the last time I was there, which was the 5th time. I was a grown-up woman, but inside I was that little girl looking for my mother. And you know, when they threw me out of Hawaii, I ran back to Melbourne and made it, of course. I'm here and I'm breathing. This was 20 odd years ago, by the way. But, you know, I was going around the same broken cycle, recycling, you know, the same or similar cycles that my mother went through, that my father went through. Dad, if you're out there, it's not your fault. You only did what your parents did. You know, the same with me. You know, I copied some of the cycles that my mother did with my children, that I had to know and realize that I didn't want that same cycle over my children. By the way, my son Samuel has a saying that I think is very powerful. Don't mess with perfection. You know, we're busy trying to be perfect. We're trying to make our housework perfect. We're trying to make us look perfect. We're trying to make this beautiful house that we're trying to pay off in stress, trying to get money to pay off a huge mortgage and a huge car bill and a boat bill so we can keep up with the Joneses, you know, or the Brownses. I'm Mrs. Brown, by the way. And, you know, we're so fixated on being perfect, and we get more frustrated, and we're just anxious and we're worried. You go to bed worrying, you can't even sleep at night. You can't even be funny with your children because you're so stressed. Samuel says, don't mess with perfection. If that's you out there, relax. Like my Vietnamese nail lady says to me, relax a little bit. Take a deep breath. Start to think about what's more important. You know, your children are looking to you. Your children are wanting you to be that whole person. And you know, sometimes we just need to stop and realize that, you know, we do have what's most important, and that's our children. Going for a quick break. Get me a coffee, 1 sugar, lots of milk. See you soon.